Josiah wasn't the only one to notice how difficult it is to see what you're doing when routing out the back corners of glass doors, but he was the first one to do something about it. It is nice to be able to see what you're doing so as to make a nice clean corner, but this particular work area doesn't exactly have the best lighting. A simple solution was to throw on a headlight. Now the operator can see clearly what they're doing and accomplish the task with precision and much less effort to see what in the world is going on in there. This can also help to reduce the need to move the router in and out of the way to see if the quality is sufficient, and sometimes having to go in for repeat passes with the router. And Doors is still making improvements to the new edger. Rachel had the idea of making a home for the adjustment crane candle and talked to Peter about making it happen. Not having a home resulted in each operator having to look in several places when needing to acquire the much needed tool. Peter got creative and made a magnetic tool holder and applied it to an area on the machine where it can easily be acquired when needed. A label was also made to standardize its new home so that everyone knows exactly where it goes. And Rachel didn't stop there. She also noticed how inconvenient it was to have to repeatedly pick up job divider boards off the floor and restack them. She decided to put together a quick device to hold the dividers in place so that we will no longer have to pay for the wasted motion needed to restack these dividers again. One more bite out of our cost, and one more shot in the arm of throughput. Molding and Special Parts have been working great together as a team to implement some improvements to reduce a lot of waste. For example, Aaron had an online order form application created that can be accessible on their terminal and is also active on Molding's terminal. This form enables Special Parts to order material for molding without having to handwrite the items on a paper form and walk them a few hundred feet over to Molding. When they click Notify, Molding will see a color swatch show up on their screen, which is always open in the corner of their monitor. This way they can easily know a new order has been requested from almost anywhere in their department. They can also check a simple box to turn off the notification and let Special Parts know that they are aware of the new order, so they don't have to find each other in order to follow up on the item. In assembly, Ephraim had the idea of upgrading the slide mount block bins to hold more material. This highly used item flows rather quickly, so it makes sense to stock a little more at the polling station in order to reduce the motion and transportation needed to restock these bins so often. The space in which these larger bins were put were also in a place where they do not take up any more floor space than the previous bins and do not require any additional motion to get into. In fact, he tilted the bin on its side, which reduces the previous motion of having to reach down inside, as well as having to pull them out in order to refill. Brilliant. And Assembly made another improvement on the way they tallied boxes coming off the line. They like to set box count goals for each line, so they can track their pace throughout the day, and would count the boxes as they came off the line by using phone apps. The problem is that phones are used for many purposes and aren't always readily available when a new box comes off the line. The app also has to be continuously reopened or brought to the front of the screen in order to acquire, when needed to add a tally. By adding simple tally jiggy thingies to the end of each line, team members can easily add a box count with the push of a single button that is easily accessible on demand, which helps to accomplish their desire to see how they are doing with regard to meeting their set goals, without the added motion and waiting caused from the previous method. Well, we really hope you're enjoying more time off work. Now, the question is, what do you do with all that extra time? In case you haven't noticed, the principles of lean manufacturing can also apply to everyday life. Our life has throughput as well. The question is, what are you trying to produce with the time you have? What does good look like for you? The first thing to consider would be the creation of a personal vision statement. This will help guide the decisions you make every day. You can then compare your current actions to your desired vision goal and discern between what actions are wasted activity and what actions add value to your life. In the next few weeks, we will be sharing a few ideas on how you can spend some of your extra time in a valuable way if you so choose. First, consider these questions. Number 1. How do I want people to remember me when I'm gone? Is what I'm doing with my time in line with this vision? Number 2. What is the ripple effect of how I'm spending my time? Am I making the world a better place and preparing a better future for those who come after me? Now remember, we all fall down, we all make mistakes, and almost no one accomplishes all of their goals. Just setting an example of perseverance and a never give up attitude on your goals can leave a great ripple effect that will benefit those around you. After all, never giving up is the greatest skill anyone can ever learn. Yesterday is in the past, we can't change it, but today is a new day, and we can always make something better starting now. Number 3, is what I'm doing with my life making me stronger and more alive? Life is busy and can be full of challenges. When we have spare time, we have a great opportunity to strengthen ourselves spiritually, mentally, and physically so that we can overcome and grow even stronger from the obstacles we face in life. If we are not intentionally building a stronger mind, body, and spirit, even small obstacles can weigh us down. One area of life that we all have a hard time finding balance in is the desire to acquire more stuff. What do we need, and what do we just want? Will this thing make me happier, or will it just give me something else to worry about and have to maintain? Experiences with those we love is perhaps the most proven way to add value to our lives. With more time to surf the web and go out shopping, the countless advertisements are a constant reminder to us to spend more money, which can have negative consequences. We encourage you to take a moment to do some activities with those you love. Spend some one-on-one time with your kids and let them know you care. Make a call to someone you haven't talked to in a while and just let them know that you're thinking about them. It's proven that reaching out and offering what you have to others is the best way to make life feel more meaningful and experience the joy that it has to offer. Check out this video that shares a few thoughts on just how much buying more stuff really costs us.
Buying things won't make us happy. We are told constantly by advertisers and retailers that we can find happiness inside their store and on their shelves, but it's simply not true. Here are 9 reasons why buying things won't make us happy. Number 1, they always fade. Everything we buy always begins to get worn out and it begins to fade. Things look shiny and new and beautiful in the packaging at the store, but as soon as we get it home, it begins to change. Number 2, there's always something new that we could be buying. From kitchen gadgets to clothing styles, from cars to technology, everything is always changing and constantly updating. New styles and new trends are being introduced constantly. And so even if we buy something today, it is no longer new, sometimes as early as tomorrow. Number 3, buying things always adds worry onto our lives. Randy Alcorn says it this way: every increased possession adds increased anxiety onto our lives. And it is so true. Everything we own takes up physical space in our home. It also takes up mental space in our mind. Number 4, everything we own requires maintenance of some sort. Everything we buy has to be cleaned, organized, stored, repaired, recycled, replaced, removed. Number 5, everything we buy costs more than we think. In the store, it seems the price of an item is clearly marked on the price tag. But as soon as we get it home and we find the extra maintenance that's required, the extra stress that it brings onto our lives, it begins to cost a lot more than the initial financial purchase. Henry David Thoreau said it this way: the price of anything is the amount of life that we exchange for it. It's so true, and it means that everything we buy costs more than we think when we purchased it. Number 6, others are not that impressed with our purchase. Consciously or subconsciously, a lot of us, most of us, buy things because we're trying to impress others. But the reality is we quickly find out that other people aren't that impressed with the things that we buy. Most often, I think, because they're too busy trying to impress us with the things that they bought. Number 7, someone always has more than us. Think of this whole faulty reasoning that the things we buy will make us happier. If that was the case, it would mean that whoever had the very most would be the happiest in life. But we know that's not true. We know that happiness can't be found there. Number 8, our purchases don't bring contentment. Contentment is the key to happiness, and we can never find it by buying something. In fact, I think for most of us, our discontent can be evidenced in our excess. Because we think things are going to bring us contentment, or we think things are going to bring us happiness, we buy more and more and more, but it never fully satisfies. Number 9, experiences always make us happier than possessions. If you look at the studies, if you look at the research, creating memories with other people, focusing on relationships, This always brings more happiness and more joy into our lives than just buying another thing on sale at the store. Lasting happiness can never be found in the things that we buy. You're going to have to look somewhere else.
Hey, the 3S prize drawing is back. There are 2 ways to get your name entered for a chance to win something awesome. The first way to get your name entered is simple. Every time someone comes up with a 2-second improvement, their name is automatically put in the hat for each improvement they make. The other way to get your name put in the hat is to notify us that you watched the video by simply clicking the link in the video description and answer a simple question regarding the video, then submit, and voila, you're entered to win.